Under the download, you can see the Ubuntu desktop here. Now we are inside the installation page. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to see how to install Ubuntu 22.04 image into Eveng. From the Eveng documentation page, we can download the image for Linux Ubuntu 22.04. When you click on this download link for ready to use Linux image, you will land in the Mega download link page. Here we can see a lot of Linux Ubuntu images. First, I have tried this Ubuntu 22.04 desktop.tar.gz type image, but when I am trying this, it did not work for me. So what I did, I went to the Ubuntu page, Ubuntu official page, and under the download, you can see the Ubuntu desktop here. I have downloaded the 22.04 LTS version. This is the .iso image I have downloaded and kept in my download directory. You can see here. Now we will see how to install Ubuntu 22.04 desktop ISO image into Eveng. First, I'll SSH into Eveng using PuTTY app. I used my IP address of Eveng and port number 22 and selected the connection type as SSH. Click open. Login as. Here you have to give our username, default username root, and give your default password. Now we will go to Eveng documentation page. We have to create the first step. We have to create the new image directory using this command. So what I'll do, I'll copy this command. We'll paste it here. Here instead of 16.04, I'll change it to 22.04.1. That is our image. Click enter now. Now we have created the directory. Next step, I'll go to the documentation page again. Next up, we have to use the WinACP to transfer the Ubuntu image from our local machine to the Eveng virtual machine. Now I'll open the WinACP, click WinACP. And here you can give your IP address under the host name and port name 22 and username root, and you can give your password here and click login. I did not give my password, so I'm giving it again. Click OK. Here left side is our local machine directory, right side is our virtual machine Eveng directory. The left side, I am under the downloads directory. Here we can see our Ubuntu 22.04 images here. And right side, now we have to go into the new directory we have created. We have to move this file from local machine to virtual machines respective directly. So what I'll do, I'll go to PuTTY app and copy the directory path, file path. I'll copy this and I'll go back to WinACP again. Here you can click on this folder directory. Local directory we have already selected. Under the remote directory, you can paste this file path and click OK. It will take you to the directory. Now I'll come to my local machine and I have selected the Ubuntu 22.04 image. I'll right click on this and click upload and click OK. Now the files are moving from the local machine to Eveng virtual machine. It will take some time. Now using WinSCP, we have uploaded the Ubuntu image into Eveng virtual machine. To see the next step, I'll go to Eveng documentation page again. Next up, I have to go to CLI and change the directory to the newly created directory. So I'll go to Putty app. We have to use the cd command. I'll copy this file path and click enter. Now we are inside the newly created directory. I'll do the ls. Here we can see our uploaded image .iso file. We can see the uploaded image. The next step, I'll go to the documentation page. We can see we have to rename this image distro to cd-rom.iso. We have to use the move command. So I'll go to the CLI again. We have to use the move command, mv. I type the file name and cd-rom.iso. Now we are changing this file to cd-rom.iso. Click enter. I'll do ls again. Now we can see our file name is changed into cd-rom.iso. So I'll go back to even the documentation page again. Now we have renamed the image to cd-rom.iso. Next, I have to go to the CLI in the respective directory, and we have to create the new qcow image, qcow2 image. We have to create the qcow2 image using this command. So what I'll do, I'll copy this command from this page and go back to the CLI again, and I will paste it here. Click enter. Now it created the qcow2 image. I'll type ls again. Now we can see here, it created the qcow2 image here. Now I'll go back to even the documentation page again. Now we have created the 30 GB qcow2 hard disk image. Next step, we have to create the new lab and we have to add the Linux node, newly created our Linux node. So what I'll do, I'll open the web page. I'll go to web browser. Here I open the web login page of Eveng using the IP address of my Eveng, and I given the username as admin and default password. Click sign in. Now I have to add a new lab. I'm going to name this lab as Ubuntu 22.04 and click save. Now we have to add the node Linux node. This is the blank workspace of Eveng. Right click here, click on node. Now we are going to add the Linux Ubuntu 22.04 new image we have created just now. I'll select Linux, click on this. Here we can see on the image, it is default selected our newly created image, Ubuntu desktop 22.04.01. And I'll change the icon. I'll change the icon to desktop Linux PNG and scroll down. I'll click this image, save. Now I will connect this node to internet using right click and click on network, management cloud, click save. Now I will connect my Linux node to the internet, click save. Now I will start the Linux image. Click Start. Now double click to open the console. Now it is booting. We can see the Ubuntu logo here. Now we are going to do the default installation. This first time process will take some time. Now we are inside the installation page. You can try Ubuntu before installing. Otherwise, we can directly install the Ubuntu. For this demo, I am going to install this Ubuntu. Click on install Ubuntu. Here we can see it is language English selected. Click install Ubuntu. Now choose your keyboard layout. I have selected English US and click on continue. I'm going to choose the normal installation here. And other options, download updates while installing Ubuntu. I'm going with default. So click on continue. Next, installation type. Now here it is asking for erase disk and install Ubuntu. As I am installing in the virtual environment, I am going to erase this disk. If you are installing in physical device, you have to be careful what you are doing. Now click install now. It is asking for write the changes to disks. Click continue. Now it is asking for the location. Where are you? I'll click the New York default. Now we have to fill our credentials and details. It is asking for our name. It is asking for the name. I'm going to give the user my name as James. Computer name, I'm going to give it as Ubuntu 22. And I'll choose the password. And here we have to confirm our password. Here I have chosen require my password to login. Click continue. Now it is copying the files. Now this process will take some time. Now the installation is complete. We have to restart the computer. Click restart. It is asking us to remove the installation medium and then press enter. I'll press enter now. Now it is displaying the login page. Click on our username. Type your password. Now Ubuntu is loaded. And on the top of the screen, we can see online accounts. Connect your online accounts. We can skip. Next, live patch. Would you like to set up live patch now? We are not going to do, so click next. Help improve Ubuntu. Would you like to send this information? I'll select no. Click next. Now it is asking for software updater. Latest software is available. I'll click on install now. If you don't want, you can select remind me later. It is asking for authentication. I had to give the password. I'll minimize it. Next up, privacy, location services. I'm not going to turning it on. So click next. Now it is done. I'll wait for software updater to be completed. Meantime, I will go into even the documentation page. We will check what is the next step. The next step is we have to remove the cd-rom.iso from the created folder. But this step is not working for me, so I'm not going to remove the cd-rom.iso. Then next step, we have to commit the installation. Whatever installation we have made, we have to commit this installation to set it as the default image for the further use in Eveng. So this committed image will serve as a default image for our future use. Now the updates installed. We have to restart now. So I'll restart now. Once again, I will log in using my credentials. Click on username and enter your password. Click enter. What I'll do now, I will shut down the system. So I'll click on the top power icon. And I'll power off this. Next up, to commit this image as default image, we need three details. One is, we can see in the documentation page, the first detail is UUID, that we can get it from the lab details. And the next one is pod ID, and the next ID is node ID. These three details we have to get it before commit this image. I'll go back to the web page of Eveng. In the left side, click on the lab details. This is our UUID. So for the time being, I'll copy this ID and I'll open the notepad and paste it here. Next, we have to check the node ID and pod ID. To check our pod ID, I have to close the lab. And here we have to see under management, user management. Here we can see under the pod ID, under the pod, our pod ID is 0. Now I'll go to the main page. I'll click on the lab. I'll open this lab again. I'll note the pod ID here. Pod ID is 0. Next, node ID. To know our node ID, I'll go back to our web page and right click on the Linux image. Here we can see in the bracket our node ID is 1. So I'll note down the node ID. Node ID is 1. Now I'll come back to our Eveng documentation page. From the next step is from the Eveng CLI. locate the installed image and commit your changes. So I'll go to this directory. So I'll copy this command. Here in the image, you can see the pod ID location and UUID location and node ID location. So I will copy this command and I will once again paste it into the notepad. Here we can see our pod ID is 0. This is our node ID. Node ID I will change into 1 and this is our UUID. I'll copy this UUID from here. I'll paste it in the command. Now I'll copy this command from here and I'll go back to CLI. I'll paste this command here. Here now we are inside our new directory. So I'll go back to the documentation page. We'll see what is the next step. The next step is we have to commit. So I'll copy and paste this command. I'll copy from here. And go to CLI and I'll paste it here. I'll click enter. Now this will take 15 to 20 minutes. Now the image is committed successfully. Next, I'll go to the web login page of Eveng. I'll close this lab. Now we will create new lab, Linux, checking. We are going to check the image which we have created, default image, is working or not. We are going to check that. Now we are inside the new lab. This is the working space. Now I'll right click on node. I'll type Linux. The default image is selected. Now I will click on save. Now I'll click start. The image is started. Now I will double click to go to the console. Here we can see the Ubuntu is loading. Now we are in the login page. Type your password. This is the default image we have created. You can see it here. I'll adjust this. This is how we have to install Ubuntu 22.04 ISO image into Eveng. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.